A difficult day for law enforcement on the Treasure Coast as many went back to work knowing one of their colleagues would not be joining them. Good afternoon to you. I'm Shannon Cake. Welcome to the Now South Florida. Indian River County Corrections Deputy Garry Chambliss died over the weekend after he was caught in the middle of a gun battle in Gifford, Florida. We want to go to the Indian River County Sheriff Daryl Lohr, who is about to speak at the microphone. Let's listen.
Thank you for coming today. Today, we continue to grieve the loss of Deputy Garry Chambliss. To my right is his oldest daughter, and to my left is his youngest daughter. Deputy Chambliss left us Friday evening around 9:30 in a senseless act of violence. Indian River County has experienced too much violence. We've got too many people that know too many things that are not talking up. Deputy Chambliss was enjoying an evening Friday night with his friends a block and a half away from where this incident occurred. And some senseless person took it upon himself to have a firefight with another person, and that stray round struck a 28, nearly 29-year veteran of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. We are pleading today with the family and others for those that know something to say something. Deputy Chambliss started his career in 1988. He was a graduate of Vero Beach High School in 1986, continued on his law enforcement career not only as a correctional deputy, but a sworn uniform road patrol deputy for many years. At one point in his career, he decided his love was to go back and work in our transportation department, where he transported criminals, convicted criminals all over this state, and the irony is so deep in this particular case. He is missed widely throughout our community. The family and I have spoken, and they agree that we will be working together to find these bad guys and put them in jail. The family has been offered a lot of support from throughout the community. They have worked very well for us. They are victims, and we are here to help them ease the pain and get through this situation. Friday evening at a fish fry a block and a half away on 28th Avenue in Gifford, dozens of men and women were gathered, enjoying themselves, when violence erupted and our deputy sheriff was killed less than 170 yards away from the initial crime of violence. We are pleading for the help of the community to come forward and put these bad guys in jail. I can assure you that the patrol efforts will be stepped up in this community. Enough is enough. We've worked with community leaders for well over 8 years, monthly, sometimes more than monthly, trying to curb this violence. And I'm here today to tell you that my pledge is to make sure the streets of Gifford are safe again, so we do not go through this problem yet again. We've got members of the family here if they would like to speak. We also have Mr. Tony Brown, the president of the NAACP for Indian River County. If he would like to speak, I would love to entertain some of his comments. Mr. Brown.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Sheriff Lohr. I'm humbled. The outcry from Garry has been tremendous. We're meeting tonight. Sheriff said enough is enough. Grown men crying. That's where we're at. Our community is in crisis. He has the prescription. We're going to help him serve the prescription to our family. We have had enough. We will be meeting tonight. We're going to have a family meeting. Sheriff Lohr is a family member. One of his children was killed. This is going to be open, honest, and real. No finger pointing. How can we save our community? Enough is enough. I trust him, and I know that he's going to do the right thing. And I know that these babies need him to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Any questions? Anthony.
Sheriff, do we know what led up at this point to this initial spate of violence?
It's still early in the investigation, but we believe that the parties that exchanged gunfire had some differences in the past. And I think this obviously elevated the situation or the relationship between the two. We have a tremendous amount of physical evidence, As you know, we have one of the state-of-the-art crime scene units throughout the Treasure Coast. I can assure you that all the forensic evidence will be processed, and there will be a bad guy or more in the Indian River County Jail.
And Brianna, you see the outpouring for your dad, but yet we don't have the shooter in custody. What would you ask of the community right now?
To tell who killed my dad, so me and my sister and my family can get justice. That's it. I just want the killer caught.
I'm sure for many years you probably worried when he was on the job something would happen to him. How are you all doing?
We're doing how we could do. We just lost our dad. So how do people expect us to be doing?
Further?
Is it frustrating that in a lot of these cases, you don't get the help that you need? Is that?
It is. In the calendar year 2017, we've had 5 shootings in Gifford, and the only common theme is nobody saw anything and nobody knows anything, and those days are over.
Those shooting numbers, those was
17.
2017 so far this year.
Yes,
5
sir.
shootings.
And Deja, did you want to say anything about your dad?
Sheriff, how do you propose to implement that? Those days are over, no snitching?
It's a tactic that we've used in the past. It is a force multiplier. I can assure you that any extra dollars that the Indian River County Sheriff's Office has will be put in play. I can also assure you, come the next budget cycle, I will be asking for additional dollars and additional manpower. Currently, in 2017, we're operating on the same amount of manpower that we had in 2006. We've been patient getting through the recession, but to be quite frank with you, our population has grown enormously and our manpower has been stagnant. I can expect, and you can expect me to be asking for more dollars, for more manpower, more people on the street.
And Brianna, when you see that the witnesses aren't coming forward, what would you tell the people out there, other than that you want justice? I mean, how would you know how they don't want to call the cops, they're afraid. What would you tell them?
That, how would they feel if it was their dad or their family member? That's it.
And Sheriff, the odds of this tragedy happening were just immense. I mean, you're saying
Sure.
100, 120 yards away is
Yeah.
where this bullet came from?
Yes, over 160 yards away. If you can imagine, nearly 2 street blocks where Deputy Chambliss was standing in the driveway at an unrelated, he wasn't at the fish fry, and the chances of that projectile striking him that far away at that particular angle is completely, those odds are enormous.
What can you tell us about the latest investigation as far as leads, anything? I mean, you have to be getting
Sure. Yeah.
some.
We are getting some. We've offered a $5,000 reward to help with folks coming forward. The information is not coming in as quickly as I'd like. Hopefully tonight's meeting as well, that will stimulate that. The fact of the matter is, throughout the United States, state of Florida and Indian River County, it's time for people to come forward. If they see something, they've got to say something.
Do we know what car they were in or what they were wearing? Do we have descriptions?
We do, and we're continuing to develop that, and we'll release that at the right time.
Can you say then you do have a person or people of interest in the
We
case?
do.
And Brianna, is there anything you want us to know about your dad? There's so many people that loved him and they
I just want to, he loved us unconditionally and we loved him unconditionally. He was a great person and we're just going to continue to keep his legacy alive.
Yes. Friday evening, we will be having a viewing in Wabasso, at the Wabasso Church of God, I believe. Friday evening, the Vero Beach High School class of 1986 will be having a gathering here in Vero Beach. And then Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Will be the formal funeral for Deputy Chambliss at Central Assembly Church on State Road 60. Thank you for your time and thank you for your patience.
You've been listening to a live press briefing, a very sad and dark day, as you see the Indian River Sheriff there embracing the daughters of Deputy Garry Chambliss, who lost his life. Oh, he was shot in the chest late Friday evening. We were just wrapping up the 11 p.m. news here at News Channel 5 when we got word and called out. Our Michael Williams confirmed with Sheriff Darrell Lord there, now leaving the podium, that in fact they had lost one of their own. Deputy Garry Chambliss shot and killed Friday evening, not far from a fish fry. Apparently the violence had erupted at a social event, and this off-duty deputy, 28-year veteran of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, was about 170 yards away, the sheriff said, and the violence progressed down toward the off-duty deputy, sadly shooting and killing Garry Chambliss. We're going to have a full wrap-up of that press briefing coming up on News Channel 5 at 5. Our John Shaman was there on scene for that press briefing. We have some other news that we are following.